Hello there. This is the third episode of my ongoing series where I sit down with you guys and talk to you guys about some of the pictures I took in Bangladesh. Today we'll continue looking at the pictures that I took in Bangladesh using my Contax T2. Once again, Contax T2 is a 35mm camera, and without further delay, let's start looking at the pictures. There are a few things that are really working out in my favor in this picture, but there are a few things that I'm not a big fan of. Let's start with the good things. I like the fact that this picture was framed perfectly. Oftentimes when I'm taking pictures, I like to break the rule of third and put my subject right in the middle of the frame. But the biggest challenge that I faced doing that with the Contax T2 is what you see in the viewfinder is not always what you get. But in here, the man is completely in the middle. I'm also glad that the palm tree behind him didn't get cut out. But one thing that is really bothering me is his right hand, and the basket that he's carrying is cropped out. But except that minor little defect, I think the picture came out amazing. I took this picture around 5:30 in the morning when the sun was starting to come up. The light in the blue hour was really beautiful. The sky wasn't overblown. The background, foreground, and the midground is really complementing the picture. I think the colors are really working in my favor. I do think I can solve this problem really quickly by cropping into the picture a little bit more, but that'll lose a lot of detail. Like the pant that he's wearing, it's not a pant, it's a dress called lungi. The lungi that he's wearing is very colorful, and I would hate to lose that color detail in that picture. Next time I go to Bangladesh, I'll try to track him down and retake this picture. Hopefully by then he didn't throw out this lungi. This is another picture I took that same day. The color, the composition, the balance in this picture worked out perfect, but something in this picture is missing. This picture looks kind of dead to me. I don't know why. Something is missing in this picture, and I can't quite put my finger on it. If any of you know what it is, please let me know. This picture came out really nice. One thing that I'm not really enjoying about this picture is the bottom side is cropped out. I wish I took another step back and gave the heart a little bit more breathing space around the picture, especially at the bottom. But if I do crop in a little bit, I think this picture works out just fine. The background in this picture looks beautiful. I really like this picture because of the color combination. The color in the background and the color in the foreground are complementing each other. I think this is a perfect example of the colors that I prefer. Even though the composition in this picture is slightly off, I really think the colors in this picture are really making it work. Also, let's take a moment to look at the background. I love how the colors in the background and the color in the foreground are complementing each other. And also the midground creates a subtle transition between the foreground color and the background color, which I really love. Another thing that I want you to take a look at is how busy the background is. If we look at the background, we can see a very chaotic scenario going on with the big chunk of the village with houses, trees, bamboo barriers, so on and so forth. But if we look at the foreground and the subject, it looks very calm and lonely, which I really love. I think this picture came out perfect. I just wish that I took another step back and gave this little hut more breathing space so the subject wouldn't be cut out at the bottom. This is a picture I really love. No matter how blurry it is, no matter how bad this looks, I really love this picture. I really love this picture, and there's no reason behind it. This picture conveys certain type of emotion in me. I don't really know what triggers it. No matter how imperfect this picture is, I love this, and I think this will be one of the pictures that I'll print and hang it on my wall. Ironic. I took this picture from a moving rickshaw. I was 100% sure that this picture will come out blurry, but it did not come out that blurry. The focus is on point, the whites are not overblown. There's a lot of people and they're paying attention to their own surrounding. Nobody's looking at the camera except this one guy in the blue shirt. I really like this picture. So this guy is a fushka maker and he started this business after a lot of hard work, and he was telling me his story. He named this store after his daughter, which is Sumaya, and he makes the best fushka that I tasted in Bangladesh. I used the camera flash to take this guy's picture. So this guy's a musician and he's part of a band party. I think he just came back from a show. He was also there eating some fuchka. I thought his dress was really nice and I wanted to take a picture of him, but it was 9 o'clock or almost 10 o'clock at that time. So I had no other choice but to use the camera flash. The picture came out decent. I'm not a big fan of the camera flash, but I think the camera flash did justice to him. I wish the two people in the background, this little kid and his dad, wasn't there. No matter what part of Dhaka I go, there are trees, and there's this university called Dhaka University, and some of the campus have the biggest trees I personally have ever seen, and this was one of those trees. I took this another picture of this same tree with these two ladies sitting there and chatting. I wish this picture wasn't blurry. I really wish this picture wasn't blurry, and I would definitely go back to Bangladesh just to take this picture one more time. And the only thing I can hope for is reframing this picture just the same way as I did here. I love Bangladesh, and I think the people of Bangladesh are few of the most friendliest group of people I ever met. But one thing that I really hate about people in Bangladesh is they have no respect for public ground. The monument that you're looking at right now was created to pay respect to the people that died in 1947 fighting against the Pakistani government. This is a really, really beautiful sculpture, and this is a really, really beautiful place. But everywhere you go in this area, there's garbage all over this place. And people are eating and they're throwing their garbage on the street. Nobody's cleaning up after themselves. Even worse, if you go behind that sculpture, I saw there's a group of homeless people that are setting up their tent and living in there, which is something that I found very disrespectful toward the people that actually died fighting for their language. But nonetheless, I think this picture came out really nice. I just wish this place was much cleaner when I took this picture. But as I said earlier in my series, there's a lot of things that is out of our control. And this was one of them. This is probably my favorite picture from this roll. This is a neighborhood that was being torn apart, but people were still living in there. You see, if we zoom in, we'll see this thing called mosquito net. People often put this on top of their bed so mosquitoes doesn't get in and bite them, because Bangladesh has a mosquito problem and viruses such as dengue and malaria get spread throughout mosquitoes. And you can tell that someone is still living in there. You can tell that this kid will grow up and become a gangster because his shirt said Tupac. And that concludes the third episode of this series. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys later. Till then, goodbye.